today we have a very special guest that will be joining us for the second episode of Self-Mastery Project, and the conversations about how we can reclaim the control of our own health, how we can influence directly our own immune system, how can we be stronger physically, mentally, emotionally. And today's guest is someone that perfectly embodies all of these properties. His name is Wim Hof. Also other names that he's been called with is Iceman. I'm sure you've heard of him. He is in a Guinness World Record books for the longest underwater swim of 57.5 meters back in 2000. He climbed the Mount Everest shirtless in 2007. Is the only man that has ever done that in recorded history. So yes, I'm very, very excited to have him on board today. We are going to talk about his protocol. We're going to talk about his life and the science behind it as well, which I think is very important. And Wim has decided to take what he has developed and discovered as a protocol to the science and do experiments. And he allowed doctors and scientists to do experiments and test on him, injecting him with bacteria that normally should cause a lot of negative immune responses. But you know, he's there, he's alive. He has proven that with the power of mind, power of control, with the body, mind, and soul unity, we are able to be stronger, and we are already stronger, much more than we actually think we are. So I'm going to invite Wim to join us.
Yes.
Hello, my friend.
Hey,
Good to see you, Wim.
I'm going to set something higher, like this. Yeah.
Fantastic. Wim, thank you very much, so much for joining us today. Thank you for accepting this invitation. It's a great honor to have you. And I've did a little bit of introduction on who you are and what the background is and your protocol, your method. For anybody that is joining us now, you know, Wim Hof is also called Iceman because of the things that we're going to talk about right now. And you have proven that we can regain the control of our own immune system. We can build our strength mentally, emotionally, physically, and align everything into a superhuman power that will allow us to also, in these kind of times of viruses, be more serene mentally, I think, because there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of panic, there's a lot of uncertainty. So I'm really super glad and super nice to have you today with us, Wim. Thank you so much for joining.
Wow, what an introduction. And yes, a lot of respect for your greatness, not only because you are a top sportsman, but because you got out of being number one and then you got back. And that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's the power of the mind. You took it on consciously and came back. That makes you even a bigger man than your talent is already. So that's great. And now bringing it to a bigger audience in podcasts, talking about the mind, body, the spirit, the soul, and not having fear to talk about it is challenging everything there is. The purpose of life. And it all started with me when I was very good at yoga and going into the eyes, and I was doing that all alone because it was not known. Everybody was saying I'm crazy, I'm out of my mind. But let me tell you, I just got very deep into my mind. And then something happened into my life. I got a woman I loved very much, 4 children with her. And we were living. And then she got this mental illness, mental disorder. and it only went worse and worse and worsened, and was very heavy and depressive on our family. Is something unknown happens in a family. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't have very little money, and just on ideals being there, the dream shatters. And what happens ultimately is that she is jumping from a story, 8-story down, in a suicide. That means a emotional breakdown, completely shattered everything. My world picture of the world, the way I hold it, the world, to control the world, it was completely shattered, and I had to take care of 4 children. That is asking for self-mastery. But how, when it is not in the books? How, when the whole psychiatry doesn't know how to deal with it? How, when all the yoga I did and all the ice I did, it didn't help me at that moment. I had to come back with it. And I found there, suddenly, consciously, I found the way, because I was in a nagging pain of a broken heart. When you have a broken heart, it's only you who is suffering. The whole world keeps on going. You have to take care of your children. You have very little money and you have to keep on going. Otherwise, you miss it all. You miss out on it all. That asks for self-mastery. And self-mastery begins by going inside. By taking on your own fear, your own blockage, your own suffering, your own pain. Going through the sore apple. Whatever it is, you have to go through. And there is only something that really helps, that is going to help. So no talky, no philosophies, no, oh, you got to do this, oh, try this and that. No, nothing of that all. It was the ice water. The ice water every day going inside made my mind still. Because what you learn to do in the ice water is surviving. You are not busy with worrying. You are not busy with a broken heart. The pain is gone. The pain is the ice. The ice is the pain, and it demands that you are there completely. And I learned to take on the ice water, the ice cold, as a way to still my mind, to get out of this worrying, out of this broken heart, and get a complete hold within the ice water, staying longer and longer. I loved it. It was like love for something that healed me. It was not like, oh, I love it so much. Oh, Lord. No, cold is cold. Ice is ice. But it healed me.
But sorry to interrupt, Wim.
Yes.
This is amazing, by the way. Thank you so much for sharing it so genuinely and so passionately with all of us. How did that come about, ice? How did it come about? What did you know anything about the effect of going into the ice cold water before that moment happened in your life where you experienced a lot of sadness? Did you know anything about it, or you just?
Yes. Long before I was already into, from 17 years on, 35 it was when it happened with my wife. 17 I was, so 18 years before that, I began to go into ice water. But that was more part of a exercise, was nice, great, meditative, loved it, going to do it, discipline, like you go play tennis. You have to go and discipline, and you build up, and you do it every day, repeating, go. But then, when I suffered the death of my wife, my heart was broken so much, and I could not think of anything that could heal me. But I found out that the ice water going in consciously began to still my mind. It began to, I have to be here, nowhere else. And the ice water makes you being there. I became conscious of this nagging pain going away while I was being in the ice. I never had experienced something like that before. These are the lessons of life. They come suddenly and you don't know what to do. The ice water made my mind still. And that was a great discovery for me. And I always say the ice water healed me. Going into the water, it healed me. My children made me survive. The ice water healed me. Now I'm showing this how to heal from a broken heart, to heal from pain, to heal from suffering. You go back into nature. You find that there is a way past the pain, past the suffering, past the broken heart. It's always there. Don't forget, anybody who is watching this, don't forget for emotional pain, which is, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? If you go into the ice water, you got to be here. And then it goes, and then suddenly this, where it is no longer. And it doesn't play part like ghosts coming up you. And nobody sees it, but you feel it. And that is going to be healed.